But what is worse than what Justin Trudeau thinks about Canada, it's what he thinks of Canadians. He calls them small, fringe, and angry. Recently in Charlottetown, he said everybody needs to stop picking on him because, quote, it's a really tough time to be a politician. No, Mr. Trudeau, it's a really tough time to be the 74-year-old truck driver I met door knocking in Bowmanville who just got his eviction notice despite always paying his rent on time. Finding another place will cost him $700 extra per month. He doesn't have $700 extra. So his choice now is to go to his full-grown daughter, his little girl, and ask to live in her basement or become homeless. I didn't know what to say to him. What is he supposed to do? Go back to driving a truck 70 hours a week? He's 74 years old. But I didn't see anger in his eyes. I saw fear. Mr. Trudeau, if you think life is tough for you, you should meet the carpenter I met at a Tim Hortons in the Soo, who lives in a parking lot because he can't afford the rent. He wasn't angry either, but I was angry for him. Because an economy where the people who build our homes cannot afford to live in them is fundamentally unjust and wrong. All the young people I meet these days, they have 2 jobs, sometimes 3. Not to save up for a home, they've long ago given up on that goal, but just to avoid getting evicted. They'd love to have kids, but they're running out of time and there's nowhere to put them in their $1,500 a month studio apartment. 8 years ago, their eyes beamed with possibility. Now they have big black bags under their eyes as they drop off another midnight Uber Eats delivery, their 3rd job. Mr. Prime Minister, our youth are not angry. They're too exhausted to be angry. We should meet the mom who broke down and told the cashier at the grocery store that all that she can afford is the half-price chicken that is past expiry, which gives her family food poisoning. And the cashier said, I can relate. I live in a tent. It's not anger in their voice, Mr. Prime Minister. It's anxiety. They can't sleep at night because they don't know what they're going to feed their children in the morning. If Mr. Trudeau thinks politicians have it tough, he should meet the veterans that asked his department for help with post-traumatic stress. And they were told to consider instead medical assistance in dying. Assistance in dying. This is the Prime Minister who famously told our veterans that they were asking for more than he could give. These soldiers and veterans are not angry either. They are heartbroken that the freedoms they fought for abroad are not respected or repaid here at home. To these people for the hell he's put them through, Mr. Trudeau instead calls them names. He wants Canadians to blame each other and not him. He divides to distract using race, religion, region, sexuality. He thinks that if you're afraid of your neighbor, you'll forget that you can't afford your groceries. You see, Mr. Trudeau and I agree that things are broken. We just disagree on what's broken and who broke it. He thinks the people are the problem. Canadians know he is the problem. But we won't let him divide us anymore. You know the hopeful thing in all this? The hopeful thing is we know what the problem is. And we know it can be fixed. Because life wasn't like this before Trudeau, and it won't be like this after he's gone, which proves that we can turn the hurt into hope. Ladies and gentlemen, we will do this with a Prime Minister that unites all of our people, that casts aside the things that divide us and focuses instead on the things that we have in common. A prime minister that opens his arms and wraps them around every single Canadian, every region, with every story, because we have one common future that we share together, right? But to get on with the future, you have to have a to-do list. And the first thing on my to-do list is to axe the tax, to bring home lower prices. Axe the tax. Axe the tax.
I must say that is a hard speech to beat. I pass the torch to the new Prime Minister of Canada. Pierre Poilievre, may God bless you, and may God bless the rest of Canada.